What's up, guys? And as you always know, I do this for the fun. Welcome back to Talk to Glashigurami TV. And what we're going to get into now is some pretty cool gameplay, which typically we don't really see in the close quarters context. So now, going back to what I mentioned previously in the other videos in reference to a BB gun and what makes the field overall really special is some of the rules that they have. Well, are some of the rules that are pretty different, including the ones that can change, that are subject to change based on the type of weapons you can use. So overall, their safety guidelines are a little bit more different, but being was it is as the situation was, right? This was pretty much the first time that I ever had the chance to use fully auto in a game, which was insane. Mind you that all the people that were in the game, from my understanding, they were relatively new players, but because they were using the electric guns that were non-blowback, they were allowed to use fully auto guns. So when the owner came to me and said, like in kind of broken English, fully auto game, okay, I said no problem. Now the only guns that I had that day were the USP, I believe. I'm not sure if I had if I did I have another gun on me? No, I don't think so, actually. I think it was just the USP and the MP7. So I obliged them and I said, you know what, let's see where this goes. And here we are filming our very first fully automatic game indoors, which is insane. This would probably never happen at any other field that I can think of, but due to the circumstances, I got the chance to do this. I have seen some games during some gameplay features that I have seen on YouTube where guys have gone into the other fields like HQ and IG for the most part, where I've seen people playing some fully auto games, and those fields are a little bit closer in. So yeah, sometimes there's a bit of risk of injury there if you're not really careful or if you're not really controlled in that situation. But mind you, there were no restrictions in terms of what I could use. If I had a Glock 18C that day, I would have been able to use it. But being as that I had the MP7, that's what I did use. However, in this particular situation, the MP7, even though I was able to use it, it didn't perform the way that I thought it would perform in that case. The fully auto sear did fail a couple of times when I pulled the trigger, and because of that, there was some delay with the shot. So there were times where I pulled the trigger and the gun didn't go bang. And as we all know, in any situation, that's unacceptable. Every single time you pull the trigger, that gun's supposed to go off. So that's just one of those things that we're just trying to get past. The sleeping trigger issue, for the most part, has been dealt with, but there are still some lingering effects from the repair. My sort of repair, not really a repair because I didn't replace any parts, but yeah, that was pretty much a hiccup in that sense where it didn't work. Being what the situation was and how the whole thing kind of played out, overall the game was really fun. As I mentioned before, blind fire is 100% legal on this map, so it doesn't really matter what the situation is. If you're behind a wall and you see somebody, you can spray and hit whatever you need to hit. Even though there was a situation where I was going forward and one of the guys saw me and did try to shoot at me, I didn't get hit, so I was able to shoot back and lay down some fire. But eventually I did get caught in a situation where I was on the scaffold. But it was very fun. I do 100% want to play something like this again and do another fully auto session. I don't know exactly when that's going to happen or if that's going to happen, but it's definitely something that has sparked my interest in playing fully automatic games in CQB, in Airsoft. Not something I would recommend for a lot of fields because they are tiny, and there's a big reason why they want people using semi-automatic primarily. That way they can lower the injury, and you can kind of maintain fire. Most fields like Hexera, for example, they don't allow blind fire. They don't allow lasers. They don't allow fully automatic guns, right? Why? Because, you know, when you put those elements in, I feel like you can kind of get away with certain things. When you take away some of those elements and you force people to use their skills, they have to do more peeking, they have to time their shots better, they have to aim, and they have to, you know, present themselves. It makes the game safer, and I feel like it makes the game friendlier in a sense and more skill oriented. This game wasn't really that much of a skill oriented game. It was more about the fun and the moment and them deciding to kind of roll with the situation and allow these guys to experience that. So that was very interesting for me. Also, there's not that much of an advantage, in my opinion, that comes from using fully auto versus somebody who, you know, who's using semi-automatic, and if they can really shoot, then you're in big trouble, right? Because, you know, with fully auto, what happens is that you're burning more ammo anyway, whether you're firing in bursts or whatever the situation is. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be in that situation where you're going to come out on top. It doesn't always work like that. So it was very fun, to say the least. I don't know if I'm going to get the chance to do this again, but if I do get to do it, I would rather do it, you know, on a larger field, basically where I have more space, there are more barricades, and in that moment, if we are allowed to do it again, it would probably mean something. But it's all predicated towards where I play in the future and what the rules are. So that's one thing you're going to see in Japan. Different fields have different rules for gear and BBs and such. I didn't know any of that until I started to kind of step out of my box and see what's out there. And that's pretty much it. So guys, I hope you like this gameplay. If you do, give it a thumbs up, drop your comments, drop your questions. Once again, this is Takashi Gurami TV. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, hit that noti bell, all that good jazz. As per usual, I got more coming, so stay tuned. Love you guys so much. Keep up the good work and stay locked in, guys. See you soon.